Thank you for tuning into the More Sugar Podcast. My name is Amanda Calendar, your host, and I have a special guest with me today. As promised, what's your name, sir?
My name is Jax Delano Calendar.
Okay, your name is, but what?
But just call me Jax.
Okay, just call him Jax. So I wanted to have my son on because he's my guy, my buddy, my best friend. And the concept behind this particular conversation of the podcast was the more sugar. And for me, more sugar, the sugar represents the sweetness in life. There's a sweet spot that we get to when things are good that we feel like we might need more of. For example, if you read the book Sugar in My Grits, Grief to Gratitude Through Grace, sugar in my grits is actually what do they call it? It's a metaphor for what reminds me of what's good for me and what's good to me. So for example, someone may need more love in their life, more therapy, more family, more sex. We're not gonna talk about that while the kid is here, but so the more is, and the plus sign, the sugar is just what it is for me that I need more of. So it could be more of anything for anybody. So I thought I'd get the perspective. I wanted my wife, but she over here looking at us like we got 6 heads, like she don't want to participate. So I thought I'd get the perspective of the 6-year-old. So, son,
Yes.
whatever's great in your life or lacking, you know what lacking means, right? Something that you don't have enough of. Okay? And so that's usually what people want more of, something that's lacking in your life. So if you could have more of something, what would you want more of? He's science, so it must be a hard question.
More family in my life.
More family in your life? Okay.
More love.
More love.
More joy.
More joy.
More happiness with God.
More happiness with God. Now, you're saying these things not because you're lacking them, but because you would just like more of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you have more of something, then you're satisfied. And when you're satisfied, then you feel joyful.
Okay. Great answer. So you said more joy, more family, more God.
Yes, and when you have love and you're thankful for something, then you don't always have to complain about stuff because you're so happy and so joyful.
Oh, well, there you go. So he wants more God, more family, which would bring him more joy. So you could be more thankful, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
and when you're thankful, then you're happy.
You're thankful and then you're happy. So, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Jax Calendar. I love having him on the show because his 6-year-old perspective is so refreshing. And so again, to clarify, Sugar in My Grits was symbolic for me. It was symbolic of what makes me happy. You know how when you eat your favorite thing and your toes wiggle growing up, even now as an adult, eating sugar grits. Now I just have it with fish or shrimp and a mimosa. It brought me so much joy. So that sugar in my grits to make the title of the book was symbolic of me finding joy. And the podcast, More Sugar, I just want to expound on finding that joy. So for me, it would be more sugar, these conversations, um, the podcast, and just getting out what needs to be talked about to bring joy. So when I say what do you need more of, I'm kind of saying what do you need more of? More is greater. So what do we need more of in our lives to make us happy? Or like Jack said, to bring us joy, because joy and happiness are definitely two different things. I think happiness is related to more earthly experiences, and it's more centered around objects. But I think joy is more like thankfulness and gratitude, and it's a more spiritual experience. So, what when you think of more sugar, the more sugar is me. So, or what I need more of, something that brings me joy. So, the idea is to add your more onto that. What do you need more of? More love, and that could be more love from a partner, more love of yourself, more therapy, or just to start therapy to help you get more understanding of something. To be perfectly transparent, my wife and I started couples therapy because we needed help communicating more. We needed more communication. And I think that's from years. There's no way people can be together for over 10 years and I, in my opinion, never consider therapy or never have seen a therapist either individually or a couple. So more understanding somewhere in your life that you're missing that. More release. A lot of times we keep things bottled up. We're overworked. We have burnout. Um, you have to have a way to release some things. When I say more sex, I said that it's funny because I couldn't really talk about it with Jax. But again, you have busy couples. You have two people with a career. You have parents when you become a parent, and a lot of times you neglect each other. So if you need more, just sex, more intimacy, more love making, add that in there. More, and Jax mentioned more family. And a lot of times more is greater. So it doesn't mean that something is lacking, because I wish I could have seen my face when Jack said more family, and I looked like, so what we have is not enough. But I don't think that's what he meant. I would consider him a pandemic kid. He's 6, so the last 2 years of his life has been in a pandemic with social distancing and masks and not being able to spend that much. The 2020 was rough for everybody. And with the drive-by birthdays and celebrations and not being able to hug family. And we are just when we think we're coming out of that, numbers are going back up, and we take COVID very serious, and we still wear masks despite whatever someone's vaccination status is. I'm not the person that I want to go maskless enough to get COVID. Like even if you're vaccinated, and we say you can be vaccinated and have COVID symptoms and be symptomatic with COVID and go through all of the horrible things. And some people would rather do that than wear masks. We mask over here. I said all that to say that he's a pandemic kid, so he wants more family. He misses that family that's what I got out of it. And he's taught religion in school, and we're a very spiritual family. So I love that he just said more joy in God. That just brought so much. My heart smiled so much. You can add honesty to that. I think that one of the feedbacks I got, which was an amazing compliment, is how a lot of people say that they love the sound of my voice and the honesty in it. And sometimes for me, I feel like I'm talking too low, but I think it's just raw emotion. I go into a space and not a physical space when I record. I mean, an emotional space. Um, I take at least an hour or two of quiet time, and I just kind of go off the cuff. I try to write notes so I don't seem like I'm babbling whenever I find a topic I want to talk about, but most of it is mainly I kind of go what I call the Jay-Z thing. I get a topic. Have you ever seen the video of Jay-Z when he's making a song? He just hears a beat, and from there he does the mumble. And that's what I do when I record. I rarely write things down because I want everything to be come from emotion and from my heart, and then I don't want to seem like I'm reading a script and it's prepared. I just get a topic in my head and I kind of take days or maybe a couple of hours and I do my mumble thing and I say, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to go through. And as I was looking at my social media for the last couple of days, the more and the plus before sugar has been dancing around in my head. And I just got a word that people need. Everybody's more is different, just like everybody's purpose is different. Everybody's more is different. So I just wanted people to feel like whatever your more is, you have to go for it so you can put more life. If you feel like you're not living enough, uh, that again goes back to burnout. Take some time off. Take some self care. Take a vacation. And a lot of times people can't. Times is hard. People can't afford these extravagant vacations. Just take some time for you. A vacation could be taking a 5-hour drive down to Virginia Beach or to Rehoboth Beach, and or even Pleasantdale, and just take a couple of hours. For me, is water. Water does it for me. Beach me, right? Lake me. Um, it's just something about the sound of the water, a waterfall, water running, even in the shower. Sometimes before I get in the shower, I just sit there and I just listen to the water run for hours and hours, and I can get lost in it. Um, so self care isn't um, always about a vacation, especially if you can't afford it. Just take some time. Self care is, I think I seen this meme somewhere. Self care is taking 15, 20 minutes before you come in the house. Self care for me sometimes is it's taking the long way home, and that could be more time, more private time. Add your more in there, but you have to commit to what you're gonna make your more, because it just seems that we have a lot of people walking around that's letting life is getting to everybody with so much uncertainty, and people don't know what's I mean, life has always been uncertain for some people, but it seems like I, things are just getting more, like, I feel like, away from uh everyone. People, so if you're a spiritual person, people say like, oh, we're living in our last times. And I've read some of the last, this is my air quote, end of day chapter in Revelations, and it's looking real revelation-ish around here. So maybe for some people they need more Jesus. There's a song that one of the Mary sisters have that says, I need just a little more Jesus. And maybe some people need a little more spirituality. Maybe some people need a little more forgiveness. Whether you need to forgive someone or whether you need to be forgiven for something. More understanding. It's just the possibilities are endless to where we can add the more, and that is the whole idea. With more sugar, it can be your more anything. So I just wanted everyone to take away from this episode the possibilities of what your more can be. And for me personally, I want more gratitude. I'm so grateful to God for all his blessings and all of even in the rough times or even in the dark times, I can feel his love, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my wife, my son, and I wasn't always this way. It was like I said in the last podcast, like faith is a muscle, like your brain. You have to work it in order for it to get stronger. Hence, the subtitle of the book is Grief to Gratitude Through Grace. I had to grow in my spirituality to appreciate grace and gratitude. And I think that gratitude is a natural response to adversity. It's a discipline that you develop. So you have to wake up and like this is funny because with social media, some people just go on social media and I call it they say their posts are to inspire. Nothing is inspiring for me when you wake up and show me your pool and your 3 cars every other day and say for inspiration purposes only. Hashtag blessed, hashtag grateful. That doesn't do it for me. For me, that's not gratitude. That's not and again, that's just my opinion. I just think that social media has a way of distorting people's intentions, and it has a way of making us seek attention in places that we look. It has us looking for love in all the wrong places and looking for attention and looking for things. So maybe that could be someone's more. Maybe somewhere in their life they're not getting enough attention, so their more could be attention. Again, and please don't confuse what I'm saying with judgment. I'm just saying everybody has a more something. And if everybody kind of focused on what their more was and admitted what their more was, again, I think that we would be able to get along in this world a little better, and there would be more joy, like my son said. So one thing I'm going to do for him is I'm going to make sure that he gets his mores as a parent, right? I'm going to make sure there's more family around, whether he's faced. And the funny thing is, this kid always says that, and he when someone's birthday come, hey, Jax, you want to FaceTime so and so happy birthday? No, mommy. He's not a talk a gadget communicator. He doesn't like to FaceTime. He doesn't like to talk on the phone. Jax wants to see you. Mostly every Saturday, my cousin will FaceTime us with the baby. He'll come on for 2 minutes, hi, and want to talk. But let me say they're coming to town. He's up around her neck, jumping in her husband's arms and running him ragged, but he just hates to talk on the phone. So Jax is more intimate, personal family time. And if you need more money, and I'm just gonna pivot here because we're talking about more. So everything is more. I'm not gonna stay on one subject. I'm gonna make sure you understand. I was just reading an article about burnout on your job, burnout. Ask for more time off. You feel like you're underpaid, ask for more money. Y'all, it's just we need more activists. The shooting in Buffalo. We need more people on the front lines. We need more. I'm not even going to say more gun control laws, because when someone has their mind set on doing something, they're going to do it regardless. And I learned that from my therapist. My therapist said, I used to think that my cousin's murder, I could have stopped. My therapist said he was going to do what he was going to do because that's what he wanted to do. So when we see these mass shootings and people say, oh, the gun laws need to be stricter, if someone wants to get their hand on a gun and blow someone's head off, they're going to do it no matter what they have to do. It might take a little longer if there were deterrents in place, but once people have their mind set on something, they're gonna do it. So again, we need more people involved. I can't even say more laws, because laws don't protect people. Again, we already know how I feel about that with restraining orders. It's just a little flimsy piece of paper. So we need more fight in us. Somewhere in a generation lost a fight. There are not enough people that I know of the Tamika Mallory's on the front lines. I know she ran ragged. I see her on social media, and everywhere a situation pops up, sis is there. Her and her team. And I'm sure there's other people out there that are doing their thing, their social justice thing, to help our people in the communities. But again, the most prominent one in my mind is Tamika Mallory. So again, that's that's necessary. We need more, right? So if you get to work in the morning and you listen to this podcast, you might need more coffee. Get you some more coffee. I'm sitting here. Sometimes I get to talking. My throat gets dry. I need more water. Get more water. This isn't a deep conversation. It's just simple about I need more. If you find yourself saying you need more, tap into what it is and make it happen. That's all I'm saying. Whatever your more is, get your more. More love, more life, more family, more money, more intimacy, more food. Sometimes more food ain't a good thing, but whatever, again, I'm just here to say whatever your more is. So that's why that more is sticking out in my head. And I'm excited because there's going to be a brand, the More Sugar podcast. And the more is what's going to be prominent. We're going to bring more conversations. I'm just trying to get a couple of these episodes under my belt before I bring on guests. And again, more conversations, more guests, more topics, more understanding, more communication, more accountability. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. I'm not going to be before you too long. My more is I need more gratitude. I want more gratitude. Gratitude makes me happy to just be thankful in the moment, even when things aren't going my way. The breath in my body that I'm grateful for. And I want to speak more. I want more days. I want to live longer. Excuse me. So I need more vegetables. I need more exercise. I need more water. Right? So that's my more. So I'm going to leave you with, what is your more? Enjoy your night.